Welcome, everyone, to this week's conversation. Appreciate you tuning in. Joining me tonight is someone who's entering into a very exclusive club in that he's only the third person to appear on our show three times, joining John Berry and Tony Orlando in that very exclusive club. So please welcome back to the show a true American original, Creed Fisher. Creed, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. It's good to be here.
You got it. It's my pleasure, Creed. And I'll tell you, since you were here last in February, I don't know of anyone who's done more and had more things come out, music, like exciting news, good things going on. And I know there's still some things coming the rest of this year. And I'm looking forward to touching on it as much of it as we can. But first and foremost, I just wanted to offer my condolences, Creed, to you and your family on the loss of your dad. Having been through it myself, I know how hard it is, and I just want you to know my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, and I really appreciate you taking the time to be here.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me, and it's good to be here.
All right. All right. Well, like I said, Creed, I looked back at, just kind of going back since you were here in February, and I'm thinking, okay, since then, you signed a record deal, you played Billy Bob's, which is something you were really looking forward to last time we talked. You've had some amazing singles come out. Keep Those Wheels Rolling, Wood Smoke, your version of War Pigs.
Really
Just last Friday, your duet with Colt Ford, Dirty. Great song. Love the video. Going to come back to that.
feels
But I
good.
thought we'd start with the record deal, man. How'd that all come about? Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we also appreciate our first and longest running sponsor of the show, Tom and his team of insurance professionals at the Malin Agency. If world-class customer service and doing business with someone you can trust is important to you, give Tom and his team a call today for all your insurance needs.
Well, I signed with the same manager Colt has in 2024, February of 2024. Kind of all came about through me and Colt being friends.
Huh.
And I never really thought about signing with the label because it was the furthest thing from my mind at the time. But as it got closer to time for me to put an album out, I got to thinking, let's give this I thought about let's give this a shot, And of course, I've been to the office there several times and met everybody there. And obviously, I'm close to Colt. So to be honest with you, let's just be honest. I saw what they did for Brian Martin.
Hmm.
And I was the biggest thing in my career right now is just growing the brand,
Yeah.
So I had a talk with my manager, and the next thing you know, we was signing with Average Joe's.
Wow. Well, I think, Creed, I have to tell you, I think that's great. And I look back at, I don't know that there's anybody that works harder than you, that puts out more music than you. And it was funny because I had Colt on the show a couple weeks ago, and I told him how he's on just about every one of my playlists, including my workout playlist, which he kind of thought was funny. But you're not only on every playlist, I don't think there's another artist that I have more songs from. And part of that is you keep putting out all these great songs. And like I said, I mentioned a couple of them that have just come out within the last, few months. But before we get to those, I've got to go back to Billy Bob's, man, because I know that was something you were really looking forward to. So what was it like to finally take that stage that night in May?
It was stressful. Not
Hmm.
gonna lie, I had more people that I knew at that show than any other show I ever played in my whole career. So, I mean, I had every cousin, every aunt and uncle. Eric Lee Bedingfield came out, and it was one of those shows. I talked about this a couple times. It was one of those where it's like you just kind of go on autopilot while you're going through it, and you look back on it and you're like, that was fun. But no, I had 2,000 people there. I did a before party, a pre-party, and an after party. I had half my family there, and it was intense. But I look back on it, and it's a very fond memory. And we did great. We did really well. So
Well, that's awesome. Because, like I said, I know that was something that you were looking forward to. And it's just great to hear that things went the way that they did and you had all that, support. And that's something else that I mentioned before we even turned the camera on, and that's the fact that I can see with your fan base and your followers on social media, you've got a lot of real support. There's artists out there that I think half of the people that follow them are bots, but I think it's because the way you connect with people, the way you relate, your songs, your lyrics, the way they relate to people, and also like now that you're working with Colt and that song that I just mentioned that came out last week, Dirty. Watching that video, I got one question I have to ask. Did you guys have as much fun recording that video as it looks like you did? Because it looked like a lot of fun.
Yes, yes, we did. I had a little bit too much fun. Colt doesn't drink these days,
Ah, okay. Well, it's
so
probably a good idea.
I drink and smoke the Lord's lettuce. So I was, yeah, and it was kind of a long drawn out process, to be honest with you. I showed up, they picked me up at 3 o'clock in the p.m. and we didn't finish shooting until midnight.
Wow.
So yeah, I wasn't feeling any pain. I can tell you that by the time we were done. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
I think it's a fun song, and I think the video was perfect for the song. It's just a good time, fun summer song. It's just,
Yeah. It's kind of a funny story, man. It's like, because Colt picked me up on his bus, and then we go out there. It's about, I don't know, it's a good hour out there, maybe 45 minutes to an hour out there. And we're sitting there, and, you're on this bus with one of your heroes, a guy. I mean, listen, I'm friends with Colt. We text back and forth. We've had some talks on the phone, but I ain't ever sat around and talked to him for 3 hours, So it was interesting. I was nervous a little bit, but
wow.
no, we had a great time, man. It was fun and it turned out really good.
It absolutely did. And I have to tell you a secret. I think it was, yeah, it was the song was released last Friday, so it was August 1st when it was available to download. And this is a true story. At 12:01 a.m., so I stayed up Thursday night, and at 12:01 a.m., I saw it on the iTunes store, so I downloaded the song at 12:01. I wanted to be the first to
Oh,
download the tune.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I've probably played it 15 times since. So now there's another song I wanted to talk about as well that actually I was looking at back at the calendar, and if you look at Wood Smoke, which is a great song with Logan Rush, and then Dirty in between there was your version of War Pigs. So that came out, that was released in late July. So what inspired you to put that out?
Well, Ozzy passed away,
Right.
you know, the day after my birthday on July 24th.
Hmm.
And so I've been working on, I'd already put out Fairies Were Boots probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years
Oh
ago.
yeah, I remember. Okay.
And it's all leading up to an album I'm putting out called Sabbath from the South. And I mean, when Ozzy passed, it was like I just called management. I was like, man, we got to do something.
Hmm.
It ain't gonna mean the same if we wait. You know, we need to do this right now. And that's why I love working with Average Joes too, is because they didn't have to let me do that. I mean, we're literally in the middle of a promotion of an album,
Hmm.
and it's like, hey, you call your label, you're like, hey, I want to put out a Black Sabbath song. It's right during the promotion of your album, But they let me do it, man, and it's a tribute to Ozzy. I love Ozzy. It's my favorite.
No, same here. And it was like I said, it's not an easy song to do either, whether it's vocally or instrumentally. So, you tackled a great one.
I'm just blessed, man. I don't know. I guess because maybe Black Sabbath was my favorite band,
Hmm.
so I would sit around and sing that stuff my half my childhood. But uh, when I did Fairies Wear Boots, I was like, dang. I mean, I think there's something here. Like I can sing some Black Sabbath pretty good. Obviously, I never sang Black Sabbath in a studio.
Right.
It was always just sitting in your truck with Black Sabbath playing. Well, when Black Sabbath is playing it, you sound a lot better. But when you turn Black Sabbath off and you sing it yourself, and so I was like, man, there's something here. I want to do a whole album, and so that's what we're doing.
That's awesome. So now let's get back to the other album that we were talking about with Average Joe's. So what else can you tell us about it? Obviously, like I said, you've had some singles come out, but What can you tell us about the album? What do we have to look forward to over these next few months?
We're putting out a song about every month and a half
Okay.
and doing a video for it. And going this the album releases October 17th.
Okay.
So I think we're about three singles away from releasing it, but it's 13 songs. You know, when I was going to sign with Average Joe's, I sent them 24 songs,
Hmm.
and they picked the ones they loved the best. And it's all the songs were good, and it was so hard to pick that instead of being 12, it ended up being 13. So
Okay.
it's 13 new songs, and it's some I don't know, man. I've been promoting this album for so long. It seems like because it's been about a couple years since I've had an album out. But it's called Between Heaven and Hell, and it's pretty gritty. It's just really gritty. It's a lot of stories, and it's a long time coming, man. I can't wait to get it out.
No, and we can't wait to hear the rest of the song. So October 17th will be the
Yep.
release of the album. And you said there's probably about two, three more singles coming out before the full
Yeah,
album
we
drops.
have our new single comes out August 15th, which is 10 days.
Okay.
Uh, that's Feeling Better. The old Hank Jr. cover. It's the only cover on the album.
Okay.
And I was in a motorcycle wreck almost a year ago,
Oh, I remember.
and so that felt very appropriate. And we've got two singles, I think, coming after that before the album releases videos. We got videos for all the songs. So people need to make sure they go subscribe to the YouTube because that's the best place to see the song where you get the visual and the audio
Yes.
together.
And Creed, I have to tell you, that's something else that I think is pretty unique to you as well, in that, there's artists out there, they'll put out something on YouTube, but it's basically either a still shot or like some kind of lyric video or something. But you put out real videos with pretty much every single that you put out. I mean, that's a lot of work, but they're all phenomenal. Is that something you consciously want to do? Is it like you just said, attach the video with the music?
I think for me personally, I like it better that way. I feel like I'm a movie star.
Yeah.
I look like a movie star. So at least I mean, I love the way I look. I'll tell you what, when I see myself, I'm like, dang. But no, I just think, man, it's important to get that visual in there. I just love
Yeah.
doing it. There's all different ways to do it. I mean, you need some lyric videos. Lyric videos are always nice to have. Obviously, when you put out an album, there's this thing, there's a store that's not YouTube, but it's called YouTube Music. And
Mm,
every song that you put out when you distribute a song, there's a picture video made of the cover art and just the lyrics,
right.
or just the words, just the song and the picture. But I always love to create a story with every song, personally. Plus,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
not
getting
only
any
that, but
prettier.
yeah, and it also, in so many of them, it looks like you're just having a great time. You're having fun. And a lot of them do look like they
Exactly.
could be scenes from a movie.
Yes. And I think even because to be honest with you, there's all kinds of terminology, but even if it's a visualizer, which is like what I did with Keep Those Wheels Rolling,
Mhm.
it's still me singing it. It just does a little more, in my opinion, than just having a lyric video.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I
And
prefer it.
that was a great video too. And so was Woodsmoke. That's the perfect bonfire campfire song, and you get that feeling just watching the video.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the little bitty differences between the ones. Whereas Keep Those Wheels Rolling was more of a visualizer,
Yeah.
and Wood Smoke was an actual, what you would call official video, where you
Mhm.
have uh, extras, and those extras are my grandkids and my family and friends. So
Oh, that's awesome.
that one's close to my heart for sure.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, and like I said, that's a great video too, as they all are. Now, in addition to the videos and the album, I also saw that you had a pretty full tour schedule, a lot of dates I saw on your website, and one of those dates in particular I wanted to touch on is coming up September 11th, Mickey's Black Box in Lidditz, PA, which is a little town kind of near Lancaster in PA, a little over an hour from where I'm at. So, two things. First off, I'm going to be there. So, for everybody who's going to be there that night, Creed, what can we expect to see and hear?
Well, it's my second time there at the Black Box in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's my favorite kind of place because I prefer, I'm not fancy. I prefer a concrete floor and a stage and a bar, and that's kind of what it is. So, but I think anytime you come see me play, man, it's a roller coaster of dysfunction. It's people there that love to support America, and we love to drink beer and have a good time, and that's what it is every time. I won't say it's a party because it's more than that. It's a roller coaster of dysfunction,
I think that
and I'm the guy driving the train.
I still remember it was
The engineer. I think that's what they're called.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're the engineer. And it was back in June of 24. I saw you live at the Sellersville Theater, which is another suburban area of Pennsylvania. And man, you blew the roof off of that place. And it really was, it was a party, man. And even after, just everybody kind of hanging around and you were driving the train that night too. It was awesome.
I think I've got the reputation. People know I'm going to come back and party afterwards.
Yeah,
So
I think words
there's
out.
certain places where that doesn't work as well, but in certain places it does. And I think that was one of them.
Yeah,
And I always enjoy that coming back and hanging out with everybody.
and that's the other cool thing too is there's so many areas in suburban Philadelphia. You get out. This is really big country music territory. A lot of Southern rock fans, country music fans. So music like yours is really going to play well in this area. So no matter where you go, and that's why, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing you about a month from now, a little over a month from now, on September 11th in Lidditz at that Mickey's Black Box. So looking forward to that. And we talked a little bit about the tour, the new album that you're working on. So anything else in the works for the rest of 2025?
That's just about it, man. Just getting new music out and touring. You
Okay.
know, and then it's just repeat. Take a break at the end of the year and repeat. You know.
And so I got two last questions for you, Creed. One is, how are you feeling? Because like you said, that motorcycle accident was pretty serious. You had some things kind of put back together again. So how you holding up? How you feeling out there on the road, hitting it hard like you are?
I feel blessed. You know, you can always focus on what's wrong, but I like to focus on what's right. And
Mm.
I had a pretty rough accident last year. Could have number one, I could have died,
Yeah.
and number two, I could have been paralyzed. Uh, I could have hit my head and been brain dead and all kinds of things. And I'm just happy. I mean, obviously, as we get older, let's just say the arthritis is kicking in, but
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm going to get out there and still do my thing.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Creed. And I know there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there that are glad to hear that as well. So I got one last question for you, and it's something that I think back to our very first conversation. And we talked about how you were basically 34, 35 when you first picked up that guitar. I remember you were in your mid 30s. If you look back at that point in your life, would you ever have dreamed that you'd be where you're at today and doing what you're doing today?
No, it's more than I could have ever dreamed. I would have never dreamed that I would be close friends, not just friends, but close friends with so many people that were my heroes, like Jesse Keith Whitley,
Mm.
Eric Lee Bedingfield, Frank Foster, and Jackson Taylor, Mickey LeMay. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I've just become close with so many people. And I'm just getting started, to be honest with you. You know, I haven't even got to a point where I've met some of my biggest heroes like Cody Jenks and whatnot. But I've just be able to become close friends with so many of my heroes that I would have never dreamed of that when I was getting started. So it's really cool. Sometimes I gotta pinch myself a little bit.
Yeah, I think that to me is kind of like the I think the ultimate definition of success, man, is doing what you love to do and then having a chance to build the kind of relationships like you're talking about.
You never dream of that. That's what I mean, you never really know what you're dreaming of when you start. You just want to do well, you know. You want to get up there and you want to meet Hank Jr. But I've been able to, like I said, become close friends with some of my biggest heroes, which I think is just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, no, that for sure, for sure. And also, to me, I look back and every album that I have and have listened to, it's, it's not so much that each one gets better, although I think they do, but like each one is just as good, if not better, than the last of the music you put out. So when you just said you're just getting started, I believe it because the proof is in the music that you're putting out.
I think that's one of the hardest things to do is to keep it diverse and keep it
Hmm.
just different enough where people can stay interested in it, you know, when you're putting out that much music. Because I do rock. I've even done a heavy metal song. I do the Black Sabbath stuff,
Hmm.
but then I do traditional Merle Haggard style country music. So I think the diversity helps a little bit, but I think I've just been fortunate enough to be able to pick all my songs, and I'm never going to pick a song that I don't believe in. And if I believe in it, it's going to go over well with the fans. So
Yeah, well,
that's my strategy. That's my style. I'm going to keep doing that till the day I quit doing this. You know.
Well, it's working. Like I said, we're all looking forward to the rest of these singles coming out, the album coming out in October. I'm looking forward to seeing you on September 11th out in Lidditz. And Creed, again, I just want to thank you again for joining me tonight, and I wish you all the best with the album, with the tour, with everything you got going on. Nothing but the best, and I look forward to seeing you in a little over a month.
Well, thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you. We're going to have a party out there. Get everybody ready.
I'll do my best for sure. And folks, we thank you for watching. Couldn't do it without you. We'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Out where the river bends, the whiskey it still flows. I stay high, that bottle's going dry. The devil, he still knows. He knows my name and I love to drink, and tonight it's a going down. I worked all week and it's time to drink. Boys, I got that first round. And I smell wood smoke in the air. Fire embers dancing up above that orange glare. And I got kinfolks gathered round. Axe in hand, gonna cut that oak tree down. I smell wood smoke. I smell wood smoke. That smoke smells a lot like some bridges that I burned. That girl looks a lot like some lessons that I've learned. I'm whiskey bent and I'm hellbound, getting down with all my friends. This road goes on forever, son. This party never ends. I smell wood smoke in the air. Fire embers dancing up above that orange glare. I got kinfolk gathering round. Axe in hand, gonna cut that oak tree down. I smell wood smoke.
This week's episode has been brought to you by Doherty and Company Insurance Services for all your business and personal insurance needs. Our friends at Tennis Addiction in Exton, PA. And the Malin Agency, where exceeding expectations is how they do business.